I'm fortunate enough to own a gin clear diver from the Second Hour Watch Company, and it's been a heck of a watch, and the construction is very impressive for a watch of this price point. I was surprised when Peter, the owner of the Second Hour Watch Company, reached out to me and asked if I wanted to review the sophomore release, the Mandala watch. Without hesitation, I jumped at the opportunity and said, "Let's go!" Let's just say he outdid himself with this one. And as the Second Hour Watches puts it, the Mandala evokes a marriage of the psychedelic and the sacred, the refined mechanics of the modern industrial age. The Mandala encapsulates the Second Hour Watch's approach to design, seeking to harmonize the mystical and the mechanical through the use of modern material and methods, resolving tensions between these opposing forces. Very poetic. Very, very poetic. The dial, of course, is the first thing that jumps out at you. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. The entire watch is sporty, yet, dressy enough to be worn on a daily basis. And, you can wear it with many different attires. And also, believe it or not, this thing is a strap monster. As you will see throughout the video, I paired it with just different straps. And the watch, honestly, did not disappoint. And it didn't look out of place. The watch comes with a 2-watch zip-up travel case. It's constructed with leather, and I believe this one's a little different than maybe the first generation because it has some pebbling, but the construction is still the same. And when I'm talking about the first one, I'm talking about the one that came with the Gin Clear Diver. And believe me when I tell you that the quality on this is really good. This specific model also shipped with both great quality NATO and a nice black leather strap with red stitching. Now, I'm not 100% sure if these straps will be included, but I can tell you that the watch alone is worth every penny, and these added accessories are just a bonus. As opposed to the Gin Clear Diver, the Mandala wears a little smaller and it really does feel refined, and this due to the overall specifications. The entire watch, including the bracelet, are constructed of 316L stainless steel. The watch case measures in at 40 millimeters. It's 45 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It's only 10.3 millimeters thick, and it has a lug opening of 20 millimeters. As of late, I've been leaning a lot towards smaller watches, and I don't see myself grabbing my Bulova Lunar Pilot or the SKX as much as I used to. I guess having something more refined and less bulky is really appealing to me, at least at the moment. I really hope that Peter continues releasing smaller watches, and this, of course, is just my opinion because, it makes watches also more versatile and can be worn comfortably between men and women alike. The custom contoured case has a pretty cool design to it and a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. At the 3 o'clock we find the knurling screw down crown that helps with the 100 meter of water resistance, and also its sign, and it features one of my coolest features on any watch, and that's Loom. Protecting the dial, we do find a 1.8 millimeter flat sapphire crystal with bevel edges that actually has 6 layers of anti-reflective coating, and that's clear anti-reflective coating as opposed to blue, so that's pretty cool. Alrighty then, let's talk about this insane dial. I honestly don't even know where to begin, and bravo to whoever designed this dial. This is truly a piece of art. I love the mixture of the guilloche surfaces and the overall multi-layered geometric pattern with the larger indices at the 12, 4, and 8 o'clock. And in the center of the dial, the 12 o'clock, we do find the Second Hour's watch's logo, and at the 6 o'clock, the word Mandala. Other than that, there is no wording on the dial, which is pretty clean approach to be honest with you. The applied indices can be found throughout the dial and have polished surfaces that have a gold tone to them. So of course this is a gilt style watch. And right outside the inner dial we find the minute track, and that also features applied small indices. And outside of that dial we find another dial that almost serves as an internal bezel with numbers starting at 5 and ending at 55. Of course all printed in 5-minute intervals. Pretty clean. And the custom cut diamond minute and hour hands have a very unique shape to them and almost resemble the tail of an earwig. Shout out to Timeless & Co. Omar, I know you coined that term right there. The Second Hour hand has an elongated diamond shape to it. In all honesty, these type of dials would be found in watches costing in the thousands of dollars, believe me. And that is really why I love micro brands. They offer a lot of value for the money. And, by the way, the dial colors range from the serious sports watch aesthetic, black and gray dials, through to the fun casual elegance of the pale blue and salmon dials, and the more traditional bright blue, and of course, this green dial version. There's literally a mandala for most moods and style preferences. You already know this was coming. The Super Luminova BGW9 is plentiful and it shines very, very nice. In fact, the production models will have more Loom. We do find Loom on the hands, indices, and speaking of indices, check out the 12, 4, and 8 o'clock. Very cool. And of course, the added touch of the Loom on the crown. Let's just say in low light and low visibility, this guy shines and it won't be a problem for you to tell the time. On the case back, we do find a Sapphire Exhibition screw down case back that has some more information about the watch and also allows us the ability to admire the custom decorated rotor. And of course, what movement does this watch have? It has a high beat Miyota 9039 movement. Very respectable movement by the Citizen Group. The movement does feature 24 joules and it beats at 28,800 bph. It features a 42-hour power reserve and is accurate to -10 plus 30 seconds per day. I really do appreciate the higher beat on this movement as that allows the seconds hand to sweep super smooth. However, one of the main complaints I've always had about Miyota movements is that they're super noisy. I mean, that rotor, man, woo! It is unidirectional and you could hear it, but you know what? If you're okay with it, it's all good. The Miyota caliber 9039 was actually introduced to the market in 2018. Within the 9000 family of movements, this caliber is part of Miyota's premium automatic line, and of course, it's made in Japan. The solid custom-made 9-link screw-down pin bracelet has a very unique look to it, and is finished with a mixture of brush and polished surfaces that play very well with the light. The bracelet measures in at 20mm and it tapers down to 18mm at the clasp. Now, speaking of the clasp, is a 2-button deployment style with a safety clasp on top. The logo of the company is engraved on the clasp and it looks very, very elegant, very clean. Once we open up the clasp, of course, we are greeted with the well-finished mill stainless steel that's been, well finished, and it also features some micro adjustments. Overall, the bracelet feels and looks very well constructed, and the unique style to it really makes it comfortable on the wrist due to the articulating individual links. Look, I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of Beats of Rice bracelets, and this kind of reminds me of that style in a way. So look, I'm not putting it down in any kind of way. It's just not for me. However, with that said, this watch just pairs with any strap. And to me, if this was my watch, I would definitely wear it on a NATO or Selkrot strap, or even a leather strap. Now for the pricing and availability of this watch. The Mandala will launch on Kickstarter around March 17th or 18th of 2021, and they will launch with 4 dial colors, most likely offering a 5th as the stretch goal. Also, date option may be offered as a stretch target. The full MSRP will be about $580, not bad. But here's what you need to wake up and pledge to this Kickstarter campaign, because this watch is going to be offered at $425 for the super early bird special. Anyway, in limited numbers, the production units will feature a new slimmer clasp, stronger loom like I mentioned earlier, an improved crown, and of course higher quality rotor etching according to Peter. And one feature they're testing out is the scratch resistant coating that will be put throughout the watch, but at this point they're not 100% sure if it's going to be included. One of the things that they are changing that I'm not really on board with is that they're going to remove the loom from the crown. I love Loom, but again, I'm sure they have their reasons why they're doing that. And lastly, every watch does come with a 2-year warranty. So, okay, let's talk about my thoughts about this watch. Overall, I do like it, and although the movement sounds a little loud and the bracelet is not my cup of tea, those are just personal preferences. But the watch is solid, it's beautiful, it's well constructed. And I would really encourage anyone to pick this one up, especially if you have the opportunity of owning one for sub $500. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please help the channel out by subscribing. It costs nothing, it's free, and it does help us out a ton. And I'm not talking about helping via money, I'm talking motivational. You know, these videos take a long time to produce, so please show the love. And speaking of love, we love positivities and positive vibes on this channel, so if you have some positive comments, please let me know what they are. And if you have some constructive criticism, go ahead and put it there, and I will make sure that Peter reads your messages. I really do appreciate you taking the time to check it out, and as always, my friends, stay humble.